Hey, it's Tony with Actively Golden. Thanks for joining me. I was sitting here pondering all of this new technology that we have today, artificial intelligence, Chat GPT, Grok, and all these other programs that are artificial intelligence, and was just wondering if it gets a little overwhelming for you at times in the same way that it gets overwhelming for me, and just thinking about it and what it implies for us and where it's going in the future, not necessarily for us so much, but for those people that follow us, but really more just understanding how to use it and what it is, and just help those of us that are in the golden years or in our retirement years, help us kind of get a little perspective on it. That's what I want to talk about just for a few minutes. I can remember, as you can, when we wanted to find out where the closest Italian restaurant was. we took out a book called the Yellow Pages. we, we flipped through there and found restaurants, and then we found Italian restaurants. We found the number. We either found the address or we called the number and made a reservation or whatever. We can remember that's how we found things. If we needed tires on our car or work from a mechanic, the Yellow Pages was the way to do it. And we would open up that book, and there would be so many options. That's because that's where all the business is advertised. And in many ways, we think today that's the good old days because it was kind of easy. But at the same time, we were glad that technology moved us forward when the internet age came along. And I can remember way back in the early 1980s when the first computers, the personal home computers, started coming out. Now, obviously, this was years before the internet, but we remember the Commodore 64 and how that was just in our minds back then. This was about as good as it's ever going to get with computer technology. And I remember a few years later that developing even more. And then later in the 80s, my first real computer was a computer that a friend bought for me because I was going back to college, and he wanted to bless me because I didn't have enough money to buy my own computer, and so he bought me what was called at that time a 286. And when I got that thing, I thought, man, this is the end all perfect computer. There'll never be anything greater than this. And then within a year or two, we had what was called the 386, and it just kind of went on from there. Then all of a sudden, we went from having desktops that were huge that took up the entire desk, monitors that were like this big, and CPUs that are giant, and we moved into laptops, and it wasn't long into the 1990s where the initial phases of the internet started coming along, and we were buying dial up, and cell phone technology was beginning to take off, and everybody was wanting their own little cell phones. And you remember back in the 80s, 90s when they were really big, and you didn't pay for them the way you pay for them now. You paid for them by the minute. They were like 95 cents a minute, and really all you could do with them was call somebody. That was just the convenience of having a phone with you. Anyway, we remember all of that, and we've seen how it's advanced over the years, and how rapidly it has advanced over the years, and how phones have changed dramatically from those flip phones, and then the initial learning how to do text messaging, because that's really all a phone would do in those early days. You could call somebody or you could text them, but having them turn into cameras and videos. Like right now, I'm making this video on a smartphone. you know, it's my phone, and I can make videos with it. I can create a YouTube channel with it, and so forth. And now, because of how expansive the internet has become, right on our phones, we can just take these dudes right here, and we can just go to the internet. We can Google it, whatever we're looking for, and literally in a millisecond, we can have whatever we're looking for, whether it's a restaurant or a tire repair place, or if we've been diagnosed with diverticulitis, like I was one time, I Googled it because I wanted to know what that was. And all of it is right here at our fingertips. And going all the way back to those early years when that first Commodore 64 came out in the early 1980s, we just didn't imagine that it would be what it is today. We thought that was pretty cool what it was doing back in those days. And we were impressed, but now we're even more impressed. And now we've gone to the point of even going beyond just Google searches, which to me was good enough. We are now in what we call the artificial intelligence age. And for a lot of us from our generation, in our senior years, it can seem a little bit intimidating. I mean, it can seem a little bit overwhelming because it's almost like watching those old movies from years ago, what the world was going to be like in the future. I mean, most of us never thought we'd see anything like it in our lifetimes, but boy, howdy, are we. And artificial intelligence is something, you know, I'll be honest with you, I see it as a tool. It is a good thing in many ways, but it's also there's a spurious side of it, and I don't see I can't help but notice, or at least see the warning signs that it could become even more spurious over the years and cost people jobs and recreate the entire industry of making a living, I should say. And so I've noticed it, but at the same time that I see those cautions, I see a lot of advantages to it. And what I want to do is just basically tell you that if you're a little bit concerned about AI or don't really know how to use it, it's basically like talking to your computer as though it has a mind of its own, because it does. That's why they call it artificial intelligence. You can literally talk to it, type in your question or whatever, and it will give you back information as though you were talking to another human being. And so when I make videos ever so often, or if I want to expand an idea on a video, now I didn't do it on this one. I'm just talking off the cuff here because I wanted this to be that way. But I can literally go to artificial intelligence. I can go to Grok, Grok, grok.com, or ChatGPT, and I can literally type in there what information I want. And the more information you give it, the more specific you become, the more information it will give you. So if you just type in something, give me a 5-star rated Italian restaurant in my city, well, it'll give you that. That's like Googling it, but it'll give you a list of them. And you can even ask it, tell me why people really like this restaurant. And it'll give you that. It will definitely tell you that. But I don't use it for searches like that so much. I use it more along the lines of developing an idea. I come up with the idea, and then it's though I have a partner sitting next to me that I can just ask questions to, like, what do you think of this idea? So if I have a video idea that I want to do, before I make it, now again, I didn't do it with this video. I didn't go to ChatGPT for this video. This is just me speaking from my heart and off the cuff. But I can literally go to Grok and I can say, I want to do a video on uh, the, the most affordable vacation spots in uh, northern Washington state for senior citizens. And I can do that, and then but the more I ask it, the better it is. So I can say, give me 5 affordable vacation spots for seniors in northern Washington state, and give me travel options and pricing options, budgeting options. I mean, the more I tell it that I want it to tell me, it will tell me all of that. That's why it's called artificial intelligence. With Google, we just type in uh, Walmart near me. but with artificial intelligence, it's called a prompt, and the more you prompt it, the more information it will give you. So if I want to do a video on traveling to South Florida, down in the Keys, I can say, help me plan out my entire vacation to the Florida Keys. Tell me the if I want to spend $50 a day on food, if I want to stay in a five-star hotel, if I want to make sure that I get at least 3 rounds of golf in, and have some parasailing opportunities. I can type all of that in, and as soon as I hit enter, it will just tell me all of it in literally in a millisecond. It will, and then what it will do is not only tell me the restaurants that'll stay within the $50 a day budget. It'll tell me my paragliding, my parasailing options. It'll give me golf courses that I can go to. It'll not only do that, but now it knows what's on my mind, and it'll start asking me questions. It'll say, now, you said you wanted to do some golfing, but do you want to do this? Are you more of an afternoon golfer or a morning golfer? Do you want to find a place where you don't have to have a partner go out with you, that you can actually go out as a single? Because a lot of golf courses don't want you to go out as a single. Just things like that. The more you tell it, the more it's wanting to really help you all the more. And so what it will do is it will ask you a number of questions. And so this is one of the advantages of artificial intelligence, even though it's a little weird sometimes. And then what happens with artificial intelligence, if you actually open an account with Grok, I mean, you just start your own little account there, which is free, where you can log into it. And same thing with ChatGPT. It now knows you. And so the next time you log in and just type in, you can just say, hey, how's it going? It'll respond to you and say, hey, doing good today. How did you do with the trip that I helped you plan? What can I, have you thought any more about this book idea that you were kicking around? It'll start talking to you, which is a little weird, but at the same time, very helpful, because it will also remind you of things that you're doing. And it'll tell you, you can say, well, I've kind of been kicking that around, but I'm kind of stuck right now on, and it'll tell you, well, let me help you with that. What are you stuck on? I mean, that's what artificial intelligence does, at least for right now, at the time of this recording in December of 2025. Is it weird? Yeah. Is it a tool? Yeah. Is it something that can become even better down the road? Yes. Is it something that's a little frightening? Yes. But we thought the same thing. We did. We thought the same thing back when the internet was becoming more and more popular. So I just want to tell you that if you're concerned about the advancements of technology, that's a fair concern. But at the same time, if you look at artificial intelligence as a tool, as you look at it as just as though you're as a partner, someone you're just talking to, and this partner who just happens to know everything, you can just ask it anything. You can ask it for relationship advice. Now, I wouldn't do that, but you could. You can use it to get ideas for writing a book. You can use it for planning vacations. You can use it for recipes. I mean, there's nothing that's off the table. You can talk to it about anything. You can say, if you're going through a relationship problem with someone right now and they just tend to make you angry all the time, you can literally say, what can I do? I have this relationship with a family member, and it just seems that we have gotten to this point where we argue every minute of every day, and I just find myself angry all the time. Everything she does or everything he does just angers me. What do you think I should do about that? How can I get control of my anger? And it will tell you. And then the next time you log in, it may even ask you, oh, by the way, how did that advice I gave you about your anger help? Anyway, I just call artificial intelligence Google on steroids. It's just it's far beyond anything you can ever get off of Googling it. Man, I can remember not long ago, sitting down with my mother, probably in the last 10 years or so. She's now 86, but back, when she really fought the idea of getting a smartphone and learning to use it, to take pictures and videos and text message and all those things. I can remember just telling her how she could use it on the internet, just Googling stuff, getting information, because she was in that mindset, let's go get the yellow pages. And now she's pretty savvy with using her phone with everything, but she's still in the Googling it phase. And I still use Google as well. But artificial intelligence is here to stay. And you would be you would serve yourself well if you just, instead of being afraid of it or being worried about it or whatever your thoughts may be, to view it as a tool and something that you can start using, because it's better that you understand it than try to push it away. Learn it, whether you use it or not. Try to learn it, because it's here and it's here to stay. And we older folks, those of us who are actively golden and beyond, are going to have to learn to deal with it. So hopefully this has been helpful. Tony, actively golden, please like and subscribe if you'd like to.